does it say? Morning. How's everybody this morning? Long time no talk. I have not done a live stream in several weeks. So I just thought I'd touch base. In case there was anybody that was actually listening to my crazy ass, I thought I'd check in with you guys. How's everybody doing? How's everybody enjoying the singularity? I mean, at some point, you have to realize that things are happening in such a way that it is dizzying, right? Can we just admit that to one another? And I was trying to plant seeds before, prepare people before, and I'm not sure how much planting time we have yet to go before the harvest. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what happens after, but I know all the things that led up to this point. And I've been for years now trying to help people kind of make sense of it. And it's not been easy. I'm still trying to make sense of it myself. But the world is kind of a crazy place right now. Can we acknowledge that? With all the constant AI is doing this now, it's doing that now. Oh my God, all your jobs are going to be gone. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And oh my God, Ukraine. Oh my God, what's happening in Israel? What is happening in Israel? It's crazy. It's wild. It's almost like there's an attempt to inflame everyone and everything. And I have posited before that, of course, that's what the algorithm seeks. So that's what it promotes. And so perhaps, depending on where you're looking, how you're looking at it, what you're looking for, it's just reflecting back you kind of spinning a little bit. So if you have like a kind of feed where it feels overwhelming, just kind of like take a deep breath. It's not all that bad. And I know that I'm directly contradicting what I just said about the singularity and everything, but like, it depends on your perspective. And that's what I really wanted to talk about, was perspective. Because that's what I had been talking about all along, and I didn't even know that. But really, every individual person out there has a choice right now to believe something. To believe in something bigger than themselves. To either choose to judge others and to look at the world with fear. This is something that Kevin Kelly, the guy who wrote the book What Technology Wants, which is a very interesting book, and I would recommend it to anybody. But it's basically about what those with the Silicon Valley mindset actually think is happening right now. So if you're going to have like future shock or whatever, turn this off now. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to wind anybody up. I'm just telling you because it's happening, and maybe, like, I think a lot of people are being scared because they are feeling so like, oh, what's going to happen? And I don't know. I'm not going to try to pretend that I can tell you what's going to happen after this. I can tell you that it's a choice between optimism and existential dread. And we need more people choosing the optimism approach. We need people to stop being nihilistic. We need people to stop thinking that their particular conception of reality is the right one, especially if you are materialists are just like, they're out right now. I mean, every argument they've had has been completely distinguished at this point. Like, there is people that argue that there is no such thing as anything that exists outside of what we can empirically measure through the five senses. I'm not going to go through it again, but the point is that if you're a materialist, you believe that there is nothing that can be known outside of the world that is already known. And so then you tend to reason from that particular point of view. And that can really confuse a lot of people, I think, honestly. It certainly doesn't lead you down the right path. But there is a lot of people that choose to believe in that particular version of reality, and they're looking at artificial intelligence, and so they're looking at artificial intelligence and they're saying it's alive because they don't distinguish between a living, organic, biological being, at least in the sense that we understand it, and a pool of information that speaks back to you. And so that's where a lot of people seem to be getting screwed up and tripped up. They think it's alive because they think it's weird. There's this kind of dichotomy where people, if you're a materialist, but you're seeing things that don't make sense and you don't know how to make sense of it, you can't square it. Now you're seeing, and like I said, the materialists have been completely, like, all of their arguments have been extinguished at this point. So people are following into, it seems like, two camps. One, everything is alive, which means that there's an indistinguishable barrier between artificial intelligence and, like, actual living things and human beings and things of that sort. And so you get really confused and you start thinking they're alive. They're not alive. What is happening is, you can't think of it in those terms. But did I screw everybody up? The point is that it's your choice to be an optimist at this point or to be a pessimist. And if I were you, I would not choose the pessimism path, because that leads you to do very wacky things like I think we see happening in Israel right now, if that makes any sense. Okay. Don't judge. Praise Jesus, because, you know, I'm not forcing it on you, and he never did. That was the entire point of it. It's an open-ended, do you choose to believe that we have a creator that kind of, like, gave us the cheat sheet to not screw up the world, and because so many people fell into the materialist camp, and then now they don't know what to make sense of because of, like, the aliens and the artificial intelligence, and they're by default falling into a new version of thinking everything is alive, which you would call animism. And people that are into animism at that point, it's basically like, which God do you think is the strong God? It is a pretty standard argument, but I'm telling you, the strong God was the one that wanted you to be free and wanted you to choose and wanted you to have the choice and warned you about the signs. So I hope that's helpful. Be an optimist. God bless, guys. Have a great day.